Been a bittersweet couple of weeks for Oregon, the Ducks. You have USC and UCLA leaving to go to the Big Ten. So Oregon pretty much without a conference here in the Pac-12. But they'll have some opportunities. They do have some star players coming in. Since 2010, the school has appeared in 2 national title games and has managed to capture 3 Rose Bowl victories. On top of all that, you got the great relationship with Nike. So that enables the Ducks access to elite-level facilities. So the loss of USC and UCLA certainly hurts, but Oregon's got a lot to offer. The question is, what's going to happen to the Pac-12? What's going to happen to the Big 12? I would keep an eye on what's going to happen with the ACC because my source told me as soon as I saw the USC-UCLA situation, and the Pac-12 has always been in line with the Big Ten. Because if you'll remember back when I told you the Big Ten was going to shut down football, and as a result, the Pac-12 would follow suit because they were pretty much in lockstep. And that's what happened. So when I reached out to my source, when I saw that UCLA and USC, of course, those natural rivals with the Big Ten, oh, God. This is going to get old for those athletes who got to travel. You know, if you're traveling to Arizona or Arizona State, you can return. Now you're going to be a baseball team or volleyball team is going to go to, Rutgers and then, hey, turn around and come back home. My source said, keep an eye on Clemson, Miami, and Florida State joining the SEC. And I thought, if that happens, game over. And what you're going to have is you're probably going to have 2 conferences. You're going to have the SEC and you're going to have the Big Ten. And we're going to rename them the AFC and the NFC. I mean, that's really what it's coming down to. The college version of the AFC and the NFC. You know, I've said this for years. This is where we're headed, and I truly believe that's where we're headed. Because if you get to 2025 and all of a sudden we start to change what's going to happen with the playoffs, how many teams get in, this is going to be professional football. And I think if Clemson, Miami, and Florida State join the SEC, there's going to be casualties. And there should be, because there are some programs that aren't worthy of playing big-time football. No, the financial part of this, and that's what USC and UCLA offer. As far as Oregon on the outside looking in, are you going to have the Big 12? Can the Big 12 have a competitive conference? Does a TV contract, is it going to be worthy of the product you're going to have? The Big 10 still has, some bottom feeders in there. But you're trying to get, like the ACC was really a basketball conference. That's sort of why it was formed. Or they wanted to, have it larger and include the basketball teams. Notre Dame is still the outlier. And my source said Notre Dame was not going to commit, didn't think there was going to be any commitment. And maybe if they do, it would be the Big Ten. That would make the most sense. But they don't have to, is what I was told. But keep an eye on Clemson, Miami, and Florida State. If they join the SEC, then it's mic drop time. Yeah, Paul.
So the Pac-12 in a couple of years will have 10 teams. The Big Ten will have 16 teams.
Yeah.
I love that the names don't match the number of teams even closely.
Yeah. Yes, Todd.
It's ridiculous. I was going to ask you before about Notre Dame. You think it's in their best interest to try to stay independent as long as possible, or eventually they have to cave in and they're going to have to pick one of the 2 major conferences that's
I don't know when NBC, that contract with Notre Dame expires, but this is what I would do. If I'm the Big Ten, I would say to my schools, you can't play Notre Dame. Because I want USC to play the teams that are going to be in the Big Ten. I want USC plays Rutgers. Not a rivalry, obviously, but I don't want to share my team with another conference or with Notre Dame. Like if Notre Dame wants to play Army and Navy, Air Force, go ahead. But I don't want to share. If I want to be territorial here and I want to help my schools in my conference. Yeah, Paul.
The Notre Dame deal with NBC is reportedly through the 2025 season, which matches up perfectly for what we're talking about. And they make $15 million annually through that deal, Notre Dame. Plus, if they make the playoffs, they don't have to share the money. So let's say Alabama makes the Final Four. They have to share a portion of that BCS dough with every other team in the conference. When Notre Dame makes the Final Four, which they have a couple times, they get every dime of it.
Yeah.